In this week's episode, we're sharing a 10-minute weekly ritual to make Mondays a little bit less scary and your workload feel a little lighter.
Welcome back to JSDI with the Two Lauras, the weekly show where we talk to you, the freelance social media manager, about how you can run your business in a much smoother way. Sometimes we talk about marketing, sometimes we talk about money. Today we are talking about a little ritual that you can do on a Friday to make everything smoother the following week. Because freelancing can often feel really chaotic, juggling lots of different clients, managing deadlines, and obviously having a personal life if you do have one, unlike me. And often people don't realise that social media managers are the only freelancers who have to juggle marketing their own business and marketing someone else's, which is why sometimes yours gets left behind. And we don't want that. So we want to be able to close the week with intention, so you can go into your weekends without carrying all of that workload on your shoulders, and then come back on a Monday knowing exactly what you're going to do. So we're going into the Friday freelance check-in. Try saying that really fast in today's show. But before we do, as always, we would love to hear from you. So come over to Instagram and say hello and leave us a review wherever you're listening. So I feel like I have kind of harped on a bit about why this is important, but I do feel maybe we should just chat a bit more about why this is important before we get into what the actual ritual is. And also, can I just say, it's not a ritual in a woo-woo way.
Yeah.
We're not going to get you to like chant and bang drums and do a sound bath.
I also wish we hadn't called it a ritual, because I always worry I'm going to say ritual. It's a really difficult word. Ritual. I'm always struggling with my R's. Ritual. Anyway, yeah, I know, and this comes from us working now with thousands of freelance social media managers. I know for a fact Monday mornings or first day of the working week for you, people react to what their clients have been asking maybe over the weekend, or they go straight away and look at what's happening on their clients' accounts. They are very reactive to everybody else's businesses but their own. And we hear it all the time when we're saying to people, you know, you could do this with your business or you could do that. And they're like, oh, I haven't got time. When am I going to do this? When am I going to find the time to do this? And we will always say, do it first. Do it first, like that Monday morning or whatever the first day of the week is for you. Do the things you want to do first, because your business should be the most important thing, the most important business in your life, not your clients. So that is one of the reasons why I think ending the week in the way that we're going to tell you with this ritual is important. Yeah,
because I think, and I've been guilty of this in the past, and sometimes even in this business, I feel like we are sometimes guilty of this. We are so focused on everyone else and what everyone else needs. Maybe it's the mothers in us, I don't know, that we kind of put ourselves backwards.
I doubt my kids would agree with that.
But yeah, your business needs to come first. And yeah, and like I hate going into a weekend thinking, oh God, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And like, it's just not great. You're never going to relax, are you? So
no.
Let's do it. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do on a Friday, or whatever day you end, like if you don't work on a Friday, do this on a Thursday.
Yeah, can we just say, whenever we're talking about Mondays and Fridays, it's just because that's what the world perceives as the start and the end of a week.
Yeah.
It's all of this could be you're working over the weekend, and that's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. It's just whenever the start of your week is and the end of the week is, and please let there be a start and an end. Don't just work like every day without any breaks, please.
Yeah. Okay, so step one, go for it.
Step one is and this is one of my favourite things to do, is to quickly look, is there anything that I've not done that I can just quickly do now? Like, so I'll go and check the task list. I'll go and check my inbox. I'll go and check all my scribbled notes I've been making all week, and see if there's anything that I can just quickly do in that last kind of 10 minutes of the day to respond to an email or to, you know, finish something, approve something, reply to something. Is that what are those little unfinished jobs that have just you just can just do for whatever reason you haven't done yet.
Nice. Tick them off the list. Love a tick list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love it. Love
that's simple.
ticking things off.
So that's simple, and that's like 10 minutes. So easy. Job done. Number 2.
Well, it's probably not even 10 minutes, to be honest, is it?
Yeah.
It's probably 2.
Perfect. Nice.
Okay. Step number 2. This is what I love doing.
And I hate.
I was going to say, I can't guarantee that Laura does this. No. But it's going and looking at those kind of key like business metrics. Did you hit your income goals? What money's come in that month? Like, I love doing that. You know, are you anywhere near where you want to be? Should you be celebrating and, you know, cracking open the Diet Coke or the champagne on that Friday night because you've had a cracking week? But also for your clients, you know, how's things going with the client analytics on their socials? Because that will help you to be clear and intentional next week that you can, if things are looking a bit on the downward trajectory, can't say anything, then you can, that's part of then going, right, okay, so next week, this is what I need to do. So it just makes you really aware of like what's actually happening, not just how you feel. Because I think that's a big thing that we feel like things are maybe a bit shit. But actually then you open the bank account or you open Stripe or whatever it is that you're using and you see actually it's not been that bad. Or you go and look at the week as a whole, or maybe it's towards the end of the month and the whole month of the analytics for your client and realise actually they've had a really good month. Or, you know, so like looking at the facts and the data is such a good way to end a week, to give you either that kind of motivational, like, yay, I'm feeling good, or if things are a bit shit, that's fine. But that should, again, motivate you to go, right, next week I'm going to do, and that will, we'll come on to that in the next step. But you use the data in a positive way regardless, if that makes sense.
I think that's important as well, because we work in social media and we're like always on social media. We're always looking at what everyone else is doing. Sometimes that in itself is like a kick in the gut, because you're like, oh God, everyone else is doing better than me. And it's just based on your gut reaction to what they're doing and what you think is going on with you. And when you look at the data, like you cannot look at their data, so you don't know, but you shouldn't be comparing anyway. When you're looking at your own data and you're like, oh, actually, I got 20 leads this week, or, oh, actually, my lead magnet has been downloaded this many times, or, oh yeah, I've just remembered I had someone fill in my application form this week. I've got to get back to them. You know, it's those sorts of things, numbers. You're like, oh yeah, no, I had two discovery calls. It's just the little things sometimes that you just forget that are happening because you're so focused on, oh my God, they went viral and I only got 2 likes.
Yeah.
You know? So like the numbers that actually matter in the business, I think are really important to look at, as much as I hate looking at them.
And that's what I think, and people like you who aren't like, I will go and seek out that data. But if you're like someone who just likes to have that data slapped in your face, that's in Hubsy, there's going to be a dashboard for you to look at some of these data points that are going to really help you hopefully end a week feeling really good or really positive or motivated, because that's going to slap some numbers at you.
Nice. Yeah. Yes, we can literally see how many new people you've got on your email list or how many discovery calls you've done, etc. And it's right there in your face, so I don't have to go and look at it. Love that. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 is the one that I really like. This is my jam. Possibly not your jam so much.
No, just because I can never condense it, but go on.
No. So Laura loves a list, but she likes quite a long list. I like a little list. So my list will always have 3 things on it. If it's got more than 3 things on it, they ain't getting done. So the third part of your ritual, which I can say, is to write down 3 things, or like the 3 big priorities, which I can't say, for Monday or for the following week, if you like. They don't have to all be done on the Monday, although I do think it's a good way to do that every day, at the end of every day. Right, what's the 3 things I want to do tomorrow? But let's just focus on doing it for the week. So what are those 3 tasks or 3 priorities? And I'm not talking nitty gritty. I'm not talking, I've got to walk the dog and I've got to blah, blah, blah. Like, what are the 3 things that when you get to the end of the week, if you've done them, it's been a good week? Because like we've just looked at the data and that's going to tell us it's a good week. If we've ticked these 3 things off, we know we've had a good week and we can go into the weekend feeling accomplished. So they need to be 3 things that you can actually do. There need to be 3 things that you're going to feel like you know, I've achieved something, or, you know, I'm glad that's ticked off the list because it was like a shit job. I had to do my accounts, for example. And you've ticked them off and you know that they're done. They're not going to be little tiny things like, oh, change the hex code on my blog to be a different shade of pink. Like, no.
And they should be about your business.
Yes, this is very true.
Not your clients.
Mm-hmm.
This is about your business, so you can continually move your business along and keep it kind of thriving. So all about your business, not your clients. So the top 3 things.
And I think this is where people go wrong. They come to a Friday and they look at all the things they haven't done and they write a massive list. So then when they come in the morning, there's a list of like 25 things and immediately you're overwhelmed. You're like, oh God, I've got so much to do. Whereas if there's just a list of 3 things, oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so what I tend to do, because I do like a big list, and I was saying to Laura the other day, I've gone back to just writing my list on a notepad and pen, just gone old school. But what I like to do is have my long, big list, and then I just either highlight or just start the priority things. Don't necessarily do 3, but maybe I should just do that, because actually that would probably be better. I only do a small amount, like they're my priorities, but I like to have the full list there so I don't forget things. But that's more to do with my memory than anything.
Nice. Okay, so that was number 3. And then the final part of the ritual, so it's only 4 steps. So, like, you know, it's not a lot to do. 4 steps. The final part is the best part.
Yes.
Because the final part kind of wraps up your week, and all you're going to do is you're going to write down 1 win from your week. That can be a big win, it can be a small win, it can be a business win, it can be a personal win, but it has to be a win that is for you, something that you've done. Like, yes, your client could have made 100 grand. Great. If you had a hand in that, perfect. But it needs to be a win that you want to celebrate. Yeah. Because then you've got a good excuse for the weekend to celebrate and like get takeaway or have another Diet Coke, whatever it is you want to do. So, and I feel like people don't do this enough. And well, I know people don't do this enough because when we ask in the membership for people to share their wins, it's like they suddenly remember that they've had wins and they haven't shared them without the prompt. So you need to prompt yourself because it makes you feel good. Some
of the wins that our members share are like incredible, but they just haven't told anyone. Well, they may have told their husband, but let's say, or wife, partner, but they're not going to really get it, are they? Like, no. You have to tell your peers, and that's why we try to always have posts in the Inner Hub where people can really kind of celebrate what they've won, because sometimes they're amazing. I'm not going to mention names because I haven't actually asked anyone's permission, but like just the last week we had someone who was on a huge social media marketing podcast, so they got invited on. We got someone who was speaking at a big industry, like their niche event. We had someone who booked I love this one, an all-inclusive birthday trip for their husband and all their kids. It's fully paid for by her, so she's not had to speak to her husband about it, all because of additional services and training that she's provided, so she could pay it in full. Someone else was on holiday. Now that is always a win. Like there's loads. Someone had just done their first like one-to-one training. Someone had launched a membership off the back of having a Voxer call with Laura and I. Like, honestly, they were amazing. And it's like, God, people are just sat on these wins. And that's not to say there were also, they are quite big ones. And I'm not expecting people to be having those kind of wins every week. But it just goes to show, doesn't it, that we sometimes just don't allow ourselves to celebrate and we don't shout about it. And we should. And so definitely make sure that you are shouting about those wins, celebrating, however big or small, and rewarding yourself, whether it be just, grabbing a takeaway that night or, booking a holiday, whatever extreme either way, but you should always acknowledge the wins because no one else is. You're not going to have a performance review from a boss who's going to shake your hand and say, well done. Nobody does that. You don't have that. And yes, occasionally, if you're lucky, some clients might give you a bit of positive feedback, but you definitely can't rely on that. So you should be celebrating your wins and sharing them because, we want to hear them. So if you're not in the membership, and obviously you're welcome to be, but if you're not, come and tell us. Just drop us a DM and say, I've done this and I've won this, and we'll celebrate with you.
Blow your trumpet.
Yeah, blow your trumpet.
Sure. I think, there's a reason that we end the ritual on this, though. It's not just so you can go and celebrate and feel good. It's because the way that the human brain works is that we are wired to focus on solving problems. So because of that, we're constantly thinking of problems, which induces stress kind of, things. And it's not great, is it? So if you end the week focused on something positive and a win, you get rid of that problem solving kind of feeling, and it makes you feel happier, and it kind of releases more endorphins, which is going to end your week better and make you feel much nicer and go into your weekend much happier, etc. And then when you come back in on Monday, you don't come back in with that stress level high and the whole, oh my God, I've got loads of firefighting to do and problems to solve, because you had a win last week and it was great.
And you have your top 3 priorities that you're going to start the week on.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's no scary things hiding because you reviewed all your data at the end of the week. It's a much more calm and clear way to work. So we definitely recommend all of those. I'm going to go through them again. So you want to wrap up the loose ends, do the little jobs that you can just clear the decks with. You want to review your numbers, the good and the bad, the analytics, the money, whatever it is, but look at the numbers, review that kind of health status of your business. You want to set your 3 tasks or priorities for the coming week. And then you want to celebrate and shout about all of your wins. And if you're somebody who loves all of this, loves setting those priorities, you love celebrating and reviewing what's worked and using that and understanding the numbers, then you will love our business breakthrough calls that we have in the membership. They're every quarter. So we sit down, we look at what's worked in the past quarter, and we use that to make some plans for the next quarter. But we also take the time to look at our wins, to kind of celebrate those, to make sure we're intentional about how we're going to reward ourselves when we have those wins. So you'll love that process. So if you're in the Inner Hub and haven't been along to one soon, we've got one coming up in the next couple of weeks. And if you are not in the Inner Hub and want to come and join us, you can come and check us out. We'll pop the link in the show notes.
Love it. And let us know if you carry out this ritual. Drop us into our DMs and let us know. We're at the 2 Lauras on every channel. But please don't message us on LinkedIn because we won't reply. So just come and find us on Instagram, I should have said.
Well, we might reply, but it just might be a while.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2028. Love it. There we go. Okay, well, that's another one in the bag. We'll be back. Yeah, same time, same place next week. See you there.
See you soon.
Auf Wiedersehen.